What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Hats, Tats, and Stats. We are back home here at Route 78 on the transit road.
It smells good in here.
It does.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Got some good stuff going on.
It smells like victory.
You know what doesn't smell like victory?
Super Bowl Sunday?
L.A.
L.A. They didn't care anyways.
No, they really didn't.
I mean, that's frustrating, but whatever. At least some people in New England care, I guess.
I feel like they're just so. I saw an interesting stat that a baby born 4 months ago in Boston has seen more championships than a New Yorker who is a Mets, Knicks, and Jets fan.
I think the Giants were in there too.
Who's 45 years old.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Okay. Yeah. Maybe the Giants. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
I remember what you were talking about. It was funny.
Yeah.
And just disappointingly depressing too. I
mean, on one end we can't talk, but we only have two major sports. So.
I know. Belichick does it again. I don't think he cheated. I think he just dominated.
I think this one was just I'm smarter than you and I'm going to prove it. Not even smarter. I've seen more. I know more right now.
Yeah. I mean, the kid ran into a buzzsaw. Little McVay looked like his lunch money had been stolen.
He did. He had that.
He is in the fourth quarter, and he was watching his food walk away like, I got nothing. See you later.
But I got to eat.
That poor guy. You could see it on his face. He had just.
Now, during the game, they were I believe it was Tony Romo was commenting on how one of their adjustments was they weren't leaving the huddle until after the 15-second mark on the play clock, so Belichick couldn't radio to his defense the adjustments he wanted based on the formation.
Yeah, he had mentioned it a couple times.
And then on the WGR yesterday when I was driving around, I heard the opposite of that somehow Belichick, like that played to Belichick's favor because his defense is smart enough to know what they're doing, and McVay couldn't get in Goff's ear. But I'm like, that doesn't make sense because like that's an offensive tempo thing.
Yeah, when we were watching, I remember I misheard what Romo had said, and I assumed it was that he was saying the Rams need to be getting out of the huddle so that McVay could be in Goff's ear. I didn't realize he was trying to say that they were delaying it on purpose.
Right.
My brain went, if I'm Jared Goff, I need all the help I can get my ass to the line and have somebody smarter than me be talking to me about what I'm looking at. Because now, essentially what McVay did was trusted Goff to see on his own, because McVay can't talk to Goff after 15.
Right.
Anyways, so now he's got to walk up to the line and dissect Belichick's defense on his own. I don't know if that was the plan. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think that could work one of two. I mean, either way, really. Like, is Belichick's defense smart enough to not have Belichick in their ear telling them what to do?
I think so. Because if you scheme the right way, I mean, defense is different than offense. Like it's not nearly as complicated in that regard. So if you give him that much time to see your personnel package, he's going to have the right people on the field. I mean, just trust it. I'd rather offense be able to hear it. Look at Peyton Manning used to get to the line immediately and stare at a defense for an hour.
Right.
He had all the time in the world to look at it. Whereas you're asking this
just look at it.
This third-year guy to walk up to the line of scrimmage, and he's got 12 seconds to make a choice, make an audible, and maybe go forward.
Weirdly enough, when they were doing that, that's the best their offense looked all game.
Yeah,
I mean, if not for that one,
that didn't really
bailout throw, we just tossed it up to Gilmore.
Yeah, that was a rookie mistake. That was bad.
Yeah,
you could see the panic in his eyes. So, yeah, I don't know. It was.
And I mean, that was literally like you got beat by. They walked up 8 in the box and sent 8, and you went, shit.
I realized I didn't look at all my numbers, by the way. Gostkowski missing that field goal really sucked. I could have won a lot of money in a minute pool if it was 6-0.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
You win some, you lose some.
Matt lost a lot.
Matt lost a lot.
Dennis doesn't watch, so we can just say that we're all mad that Dennis won all that money.
I was mad, handed it to him.
Oh, you gave it to him already?
At least he tipped me.
Are you okay? He did?
He did.
Oh, wow.
So,
Good
I mean, I can't be too mad about it.
Good for him.
So,
I was definitely curious as to.
I was too. I was worried. I was a little worried.
Just in general, not about Dennis specifically, but just in general. So
that's good. Good
yeah,
for him.
Good things all around for everybody. So my only thing on the Super Bowl is like it happened. We've like. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you've seen my take on the whole like, oh, this worst Super Bowl ever. It was a boring Super Bowl for the fans that wanted to see the 54-48 game. It was boring for those people. And in my opinion, like you're part of everything that's wrong with sports. You're part of the reason that you can't hit the quarterback. You're part of the reason that you can't touch the receivers, like because they want the offensive production.
It's not football anymore.
Like. So people get bored by it. I thought it was a very well defensively played game. But my real beef here is everybody saying, oh, the Saints would have won it. I don't know that.
Yeah, there's no way to really know that. I mean, I think the game would have been different? Very much so.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just some teams match up better with other teams. There's who's to say the Saints don't get blown out,
right?
And the Patriots win 35-7. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would like to say that the Saints had a better chance of winning the game. I think I can say that.
Well, I mean, having Drew Brees on the field, I think automatically, unless you have Peyton in his prime or Brady, I think Drew Brees is automatically an upgrade.
I think the Saints offense would have been better suited for that game by, like you said, I mean, Brees has been around, so I would have taken Brees' offense, and I would make an assumption that the Saints defense could have done the same thing to the Patriots. So, yes, can I talk my brain into the Saints winning? Absolutely, but at the same time, I've been watching New England win for my entire life, so what do I know?
Right.
I mean, that's the whole everyone counted us out thing was crap because everybody that picked New England, and pretty much was everybody, they all said, yeah, they don't look like themselves, but I'm not picking against them, which means no one counted them out ever because you just can't pick against them. It's so annoying.
I can, and I did.
Yeah.
Don't care. No regrets.
No, yeah, not even a single letter.
Not a letter. So the big topic here, in between the championship games and the Super Bowl, is this travesty of an event.
Yeah.
Called the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
First off, nobody on either Super Bowl team is playing because they have to play the Super Bowl.
Hold on a second. For people playing the home game, the Pro Bowl is a game with the All-Stars of the NFL. Okay, not a lot of people know about it.
All-Stars.
Yeah, the All-Stars. So it's an NFL All-Star game. For anybody who doesn't know what the stupid Pro Bowl is, that's how irrelevant it is. Just wanted to catch everyone up real quick.
That's like the pop-up video for like Weepert. Like, just, he may not know. So we got to inform the fans. So
NFL All-Star game.
And we call it a quote-unquote All-Star game with the quotes because every year there are top-end talent that decide not to play. Oh, I got this nagging injury, I'm not going to play. I mean, there was a year that like the 8th or 9th quarterback in the NFC ended up being like the number 2 Pro Bowl quarterback. And if you get voted to it and you opt not to play, you're still considered a Pro Bowl selection. So that year, 9 quarterbacks just from the NFC were Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but your number 9 is not an All-Star.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I mean, I don't know. The first alternate I can call, but like you said, a lot of these people don't play in the game. One, because of the injuries, and 2, years ago, the Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now they moved it in between championship week and the Super Bowl because I guess we needed to fill the void of a boring Sunday, which I think they're making it worse, but whatever. So now everybody that's in the Super Bowl automatically is not playing in this game because you'd be insane to play a pickup football game before the Super Bowl. So you're losing them automatically, and I mean the game is so lackluster, no one wants to play anyway. So if I have a hangnail, I'm probably not coming. It's not even in Hawaii anymore. I don't need to go to Orlando.
Nope.
What's in Orlando? Like Universal Studios? I'm sure all of those guys go there on their own.
Disney's nearby.
Yeah, like they catch an Uber across the country and go. They can do whatever they want to. So, I mean, that's not exciting to me. Right, the game sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And, like, it used to be fun because it used to be, like, a week-long event after the Super Bowl, like, where even the guys who played the Super Bowl, like, they would go and hang out and, like,
Yeah, do some of the skills stuff.
Like there was some skill stuff in it. Like there were I remember watching. I used to watch on ESPN. Like they would have the opening day, like the opening ceremony was every player who was there, whether you were a Pro Bowl player or not. They had this gigantic game of Simon Says, where like the head referee would be in the middle of a field. Simon says do this. Simon says do that, and they would the other referees would go around and throw flags at people and call them out for not doing what Simon says.
All kinds of good stuff.
It was great.
Remember there used to be like flag football games, beach football. Jim Kelly had some nice lettuce back in the day.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
They used to do like those obstacle courses and stuff where like the end of it was somebody diving through a foam brick wall.
Yeah, I mean they have a version of that. The skills competition is okay in regards of what they're doing now, but the game itself has got to go.
Yeah,
I mean they took tackling out I think 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now it's like thumping. Anybody who's played football, you know what like thump day is you kind of up into somebody, wrap your arms around them, and it's over. We blow it dead. It's like glorified two-hand touch. You really just got to show you made some contact. And this is what this game looks like now. It's two-hand touch with pads on. It's pathetic. So, I mean...
To the point that most of the time you watch your offensive line, they fire out and stand up.
Yeah, they're playing patty cake for funsies, asking how each other's wives are and where they're going for lunch after the game.
How's your wife and my kids?
Yeah, He's a hell of a dancer. God. So I mean, I've got ideas. This game's got to go. This game's got to go.
Give me some ideas.
We talked about this briefly the other night. Where I've come to is I want to watch. First of all, let's move the game indoors. It rained on that Sunday. Those poor fans had to watch the worst football game ever in pouring rain for 4 quarters. So, as much as I'm against domes in football, for this aspect, let's hockey arena. Let's go arena football style, 6-on-6, some flags, 2-end. I don't care. Make it 2-end touch. I don't care. I want to see athletes in space having a good time. But the big men still need to be involved. The big men have to be playing skill positions.
And listen, this is a quarterback, so he loves his big men because his big men make his job easy.
I want to see Kyle Williams throwing the football to Vince Wilfork. You know what I mean? There's things we can do. The game needs to be changed. Make it something fun.
Right. Something I want to watch.
Yeah.
And we talked about this the other day. And when we talked about it, we talked about the evolution of other All-Star games. The NBA All-Star game is something I'll never talk about because that's a bigger joke than the Pro Bowl. The only cool part about that used to be the dunk competition. Even that's been lame recently.
There's only so many dunks.
There are only so many
in this
dunks.
World. The lead up, I will give. I know, I'm sorry. I will give the NBA more credit. I will say that the NBA and the NHL All-Star games are 2 of the best. Just for the presentation, and I have to understand the difficulty. It's a different game, so it's a lot easier to, in my opinion, play basketball or hockey at a higher level without the risk of injury, just because of how the game moves, not because there's any less risk per se. Just where you're putting your body is different.
Right.
So you can still move at a higher speed in an NBA game or an NHL game without
I guess my big beef with the NBA All-Star game is we're starting to see you basically have All-Star teams in the league.
Yeah.
And you're seeing scores that are 142 to 138. And then you play the All-Star game and it's 184 to 171.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess it's fun to watch this is where I guess I would make my point. Athletes having fun and looking like insane athletes.
Right.
You at least get to see that, where if I watch a football game, I'm never watching Odell Beckham catch a ball like that he would live in a game, but I can still see NBA players look like freaks.
Right.
And enjoy it from that regard. Plus the draft, they do that, which is, I mean...
Yeah, which
I know the NFL tried
level,
it, but still.
On that level, I'm okay with it. I'm just not a big basketball fan, so watching a sport that already doesn't play defense, play less defense doesn't really do it for me.
I thought about this yesterday, and I'm glad I just remembered it. The NBA to me is it has been from the last 3 years up until now, is become mildly appealing to me just because I feel like it's a male soap opera now. The way the players are now dictating what goes on and all this nonsense. And go ahead, because this is why I said it like that. Go.
That's why I watch pro wrestling.
Thank you. I'm glad. You just here. There's the bait. I made the comparison in my head yesterday. I said, I'm going to say this, and we're going to have a wrestling conversation. In which, to my regard, I didn't want to be insulting by calling wrestling a male soap opera, but it is. There's a storyline to it.
Yeah,
and so now I'm watching. And
depending on like which guy in the close fist you talk to, of our buddies Russ, Will, and Joey, the storyline's what makes or breaks it. So that's what I would say is now I get to watch what looks like a male soap opera storyline in a real. It's a real game. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Where it's
not a predetermined outcome.
Yeah. It's so it's interesting to watch in that regard, and it catches my eye. At least I'm not staring at NBA games by any means, but
right.
I mean, it's fun to watch all the drama, I guess, is what I could say.
Cool segue on that one. Ric Flair still has 10 more world titles than Tom Brady. So,
woo! Tom Brady, you suck. That's awesome.
That's the first suck list of 2019. Got it. Big Tom, number one. But through other evolution, like there was the issue with the MLB All-Star game that because it didn't mean anything, they were in a tie after 9 innings, and everyone was like, "No, I don't want to play." And now they put something on it, like, well, it doesn't matter how you finish if you're the 1 seed in the NL. And the low-end wild card team from the AL is your opponent in the World Series, but the AL won the All-Star game. They have home field advantage.
They got rid of that again last year, didn't they? Yeah.
I didn't.
That was the thing, and then they stopped it because I was mad because the All-Star game.
See, I was not aware that they had taken that away.
Yeah, the All-Star game was thoroughly enjoyable for a couple of years because that was how they were doing it. It mattered in that regard, and the reason they got rid of it was because of the tie. So they went back to having it not mean anything because of the fact that there was a tie, and they didn't want pitchers throwing and stuff because now you're talking about messing with the regular season. Make the roster bigger if you have to. Then I don't care because when the game mattered, it was fun to watch.
Have your alternates there for that purpose.
Absolutely.
Like
just add more pitchers.
Or screw it. Whoever the home team is, give them a couple extra days off at the end because they're hosting it, but their bullpen is the oh shit bullpen. Like
there's
something.
I want the game to matter again though.
Right. Like I said, I was unaware. I was unaware that it didn't matter again. I was unaware that they took away the home field advantage side of that. I must have missed that in the memo.
It was a player safety thing, which I understood to a point. Like,
then we see the NHL All-Star game has gone through how many different incantations in the last 10 years.
That's just fun in general. I like all of it.
I love the 3-on-3 tournament style. I love what they did with that. The entire skills competition I think is a riot.
Remember when it was like NHL versus the world or something? We do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they went from the conferences in a full game, and every goalie got a period.
Right. Yep.
And then they went to USA and Canada versus the world. So you had the U.S. and Canada, basically North America versus the world. So you had them basically against Russia. And Switzerland,
the Swedes,
and a couple Polacks in there, I guess. But that one got a little lopsided after a couple years. That stretch that when you're watching the World Juniors and the Olympics and Team USA and Team Canada are the gold medal game every year. That got a little lopsided for a hot minute. So they went back to the to the conferences, and then they decided to go to the divisions when they redistrict.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Yeah, because then they redid the divisions and stuff. So that's in itself, to me, the constant difference is enough to keep me interested.
Right.
Because even if it sucks that year, it was something different.
Yeah.
So I do think they have a good recipe right now. It's 3-on-3 hockey is fun to watch.
Always.
I don't care who you are.
Again, athletes in space.
Yeah. So it's a high tempo thing, and again, you're watching these. Now you're seeing these really skilled athletes be able to move
in really skilled ways.
Yeah, because I think we've talked about this. The rink is too small in the NHL.
Yeah,
it's got to be bigger.
We're living in a time right now where the players have just gotten so big, so strong, and so fast.
Yeah, did you notice? This is the first thing I noticed when they brought out the Lombardi Trophy, is how much bigger all the players were than the old guy who was bringing it out.
Yeah.
I was like, if that's not proof of what's going on around here, that everyone is another 7 inches taller and 20 pounds heavier.
I mean, yeah, and that's always a fun conversation. You know, the freak athletes of yore, which yore was a great time. Yore.
It's always the best time. It's like Chumbawamba time.
You know, you get knocked down, you get back up again. Anyway, so you look at these guys and you see like even the weird, goofy bastards like Peyton. Like, and I love Peyton Manning, and I think he's got a great thing going for him with all these commercials he's doing, and on-air personality, whatever he's got going on. He's hilarious.
Goldmine.
But if you look at him standing next to a guy that played 25 years ago, he's hulking compared, and he's not a hulking individual.
Oh, because 25 years ago, the guy was in the locker room with a cigar in his mouth, so... I mean, not that I don't support that. I just, the times they be changing.
Can we do a podcast with cigars in our mouth? That'll have to be a garage day.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a...
Can't do that at the 78.
Yeah, maybe we can.
Let's talk to Jimmy. Let's go to the Green Buffalo.
Ooh. Wow. Pit stops.
Listen, we have 4 locations now.
Yeah,
we're officially a traveling circus.
I agree.
Actually, technically 5. We did one at the Bills game. We are a traveling production. Listen, email us.
We'll
or
talk
just
anywhere.
comment, just bring us in.
Yeah, where do you want us to go?
Listen,
Send us places.
We're this close to being able to go live, like this full setup live, not the lapel mics, which are still a great thing. We can do that too. Fuck it.
News to me. Oh my!
I just need to buy a new laptop. Really, is what it is. My off the back of the truck refurbished piece from Pat doesn't really work for the live thing.
Oh, bummer.
Weird.
Fell off a truck.
Sometimes you gotta fall off a truck.
The best stuff falls off a truck.
That's what I'm told.
Because it's free.
Right. So,
speaking of which, I'm hungry. Is there any food falling off a truck right now?
We can work on that.
Thank God.
So, basically, All-Star game, the Pro Bowl sucks. Get rid of the game or fix the game.
Yeah, I don't even need the game. Get rid of the game.
Find me a skills competition. I want to see the biggest, baddest offensive lineman in the game pushing a semi-truck.
Or more dodgeball.
And playing dodgeball. Pushing a semi-truck full of people playing dodgeball.
You know what? Let's bring The Rock in. The Rock will figure this out.
Let's drop in some Titan games.
Yeah, The Rock will fix everything that's wrong with that. I have no doubts.
I'm tagging The Rock in this.
Yeah.
Got a suggestion for
help me. Help me. Help you. Call Goodell right now with all your amazing ideas. Just jam your energy right down his throat and tell him what he's doing.
When he tells you that he knows what he's doing, go full blown late 90s, The Rock, the People's Champ, the Corporate Champ, whatever champ you want to be. There's a lot of wrestling on today's show. I like it. We got a good thing going on.
Good for you. I can feel the happiness.
Oh, it's so good. So you call him a Rudy Poo candy ass and get it over with, and just then fix it for me because it's got to go.
I'm gonna snap into a Slim Jim.
Ooh yeah.
Okay.
You're setting me up for it. I can't help myself.
I understand. I'm just giving you these little tidbits.
Give me the good stuff. Watched Joe Dirt at work the other day, and Daddy, look, it's good stuff.
Love the Joe Dirt. Eats French fries off a big old space poopy.
It's an American classic.
It is.
It gets no more American or classic, to be honest.
Snakes and sparklers, you know what I'm saying? Only the good stuff.
Why did name you Joe Dirt, not Nutmegger?
Oh, what's next?
What's next? We got some Hall of Fame talk. Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for Mariano Rivera, the first ever human being to be unanimously voted into the Hall. 100% of votes, not one. And there's always that one dude, because it happened to Griffey. There's always that one dude that's like, you know what? I know he's going to get in, so I'm not going to put a vote on him. And he puts that vote on somebody else who's like the bottom of the barrel, last chance type
his
guy,
last ballot type thing.
Who's probably not going to get it, but deserves the recognition for being there. And it didn't happen to Mo. What are your thoughts? Was Mo deserving of the first ever unanimous vote?
I don't see. I look at it in a different way. I think it's a half and half. I think, did he deserve it? Yes, to an extent. I also think that the way the writers are voting has been changing over the years. I think it's a natural progression. I don't think I'm not going to sit here and say Mo blew all their socks off and they decided to vote for him. I think it was starting to trend that way anyways.
Right.
That more of the writers are not throwing that
gimme vote.
Yeah, just somebody else. They're just hammering ones now. Great. Give me the best of the best, and I'm done with it.
Right.
So
which really is what the Hall should be.
I think I will say Rivera made that very, very, very easy to do, but I don't know if it was him.
Well, and that's the next question. In your opinion, do you believe it should have been Griffey? Because I have an opinion on this too, and
it easily could have been.
It easily could have been.
I think, honestly, I think it's being made to be a bigger deal than it ever will be talked about. I think it's because it's the first time it's ever happened. It's a conversation.
Which, if in my opinion, if it doesn't happen for Jeter, I think that'll be an even bigger story.
Then then it's a conversation because now you're telling me Rivera was the answer,
right.
Was the sole reason.
Right.
So yes, I agree with you. I think if Jeter, like you said, if he goes in with unanimous thing, I think we stop talking about this fairly soon.
Yeah.
It's just something 10 years from now. It'll be a blip on the radar. People might remember, but I don't think it's going to be a conversation of controversy or anything.
Right. And in my opinion, I don't think Griffey should have been. I think he was deserving of as many votes as he got, but I don't think he was deserving of unanimous because I just don't know that his career was long enough. His career was blatantly shortened by injuries.
Yeah.
And I think that played I think in somebody's mind that played a factor.
If his career went the whole way that the first, half did, then
yeah, without question.
Yeah, then it should have been. We could be having an argument right now that it shouldn't have happened this late in the game.
Right.
But yeah, I mean his second half of his career was not what people wanted it to be. It was still good, but
right.
It's not how it started. That's for sure.
No, it was not.
Where Jeter's been pretty top to bottom since day one.
I mean,
was he ever injured?
If he was, I believe it was short-lived.
I don't remember him missing a whole lot of games.
No. I mean, when you're just unanimously referred to as the captain and nothing more.
Yeah, you've built yourself, a different.
You put yourself level. On a new level.
Yeah.
When you have the all-time greats of a sport and your biggest rival through your entire career all being part of your retirement commercial as giving a tip of the hat to you, I mean,
it's pretty clear.
It's pretty cut and dry, which is again why I wholeheartedly believe if he's not the next one, then we really have a conversation about Mo.
Yeah. Now, I agree with that.
Stemming into this, there was a thing I saw on Twitter. I believe LG, who's local Buffalo boy playing pro baseball, he tweeted about Julius Peppers retiring, and people can is he a Hall of Famer? And the conversation went from, he's fourth all time on the sacks list, but he was never that guy that took over a game. He was never that guy that, you schemed to run away from a Khalil Mack. You schemed to run away from a J.J. Watt. You schemed to run away or to double team. Bruce Smith and the three guys ahead of him on the sack list are all guys that you schemed around those guys, and he was never that guy. And he also played on 4 or 5 or 6 teams or something like that, so he never really had the staying power. Should he be a Hall of Famer?
I would say that he did have dominant years. I don't think they were. I mean, he's one of those people that have been above average for a very long time, which there's something to be said. How many seasons did he play? It was 18?
Yeah.
It was something insane.
Yeah.
You're a defensive end. I mean, he's not standing behind the line and Belichick standing there not getting touched all the time. I can play till I'm 45. And he's a man hitting people constantly.
Like the game of football is supposed to be played.
Right. I would say yes. There's something to be said for being able to put a career together like that. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? It's a career.
It's absolutely a career.
And I would disagree with he was never that guy that you had. I mean, there were years where he was called a freak. I mean, I don't think he did it for a ton, but there were plenty of years that he was, without question, dominating a side of the line. But you're an NFL starter for 18 years. You got to be doing something right.
Right.
There's a reason you're still on the field when you're that old at that position. And you got to be doing something right.
And this is where I kind of leave it. If you look at whoever's number 4 on the passing touchdown list, whoever's number 4 on the passing yards list, whoever's number 4 on the receiving yards, rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, whoever number 4 is on those lists, like for a career, not talking like one season, like not a flash in the pan thing. Like if you're number 4 all time in those top categories, you're almost no doubt a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Like,
because I mean, there's an argument to be made that you're the 4th best at that position
all
ever.
time.
So,
like, you know, and
you're in a decent place.
If we had our laptops, as you can tell, we're running a little bare bone shoot from the hip today.
Been weird.
We could look up who some of those people are, and I guarantee if they're not in the Hall of Fame, they may be.
Right. If they're
still
not eligible,
running.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to look at. I'll have to pull that up because that's. I mean, if you present the argument like that, it makes a whole lot of sense. You should be in.
Right.
So
and I read 4th all time in sacks and went Hall of Famer. I don't care.
Yeah, because who were the 3 names in front of him? Reggie White, Bruce Smith, and Michael Strahan.
I think you may have hit it on the head.
Not in that particular order, because I think Bruce is top, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Regardless, I don't care. Those guys are in, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's
who's number 5.
Right. Like who's
number 5?
Who did you jump?
Right. Yeah. What's his career like? Maybe we can end this conversation right then and there.
Right. And it was an interesting point of conversation because it's like they went into like, oh, he played on too many teams. He did this, he did that. Like, he was never he was never that dominant presence. Like he was never that guy that like you had to run away from him, or he was just not that guy. And I looked at it and went 4th all time in sacks. End of conversation.
I'm trying to pull this up here real quick.
Oh,
see if I can get something done.
Phones are wonderful sometimes.
They sure are. Okay. This is quick, so I'm sorry if this is wrong, but Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Kevin Green, who is in the Hall of Fame as of 2-3 years ago, Julius Peppers, Chris Dolman from Minnesota, Michael Strahan, Jason Taylor, and Strahan and Taylor are both in, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Got John Randall down here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Lawrence Taylor, 132.5. We're done. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. See ya. Book it.
Sold. No buy or sell, just straight sell there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it.
Got it.
All right.
Anything else? I think it was a good one. Little shoot from the hip. We had ideas to talk about.
Something. Yeah, it's kind of broad,
Little pro wrestling. Little Hall of Fame. Little. This was an all-star show.
The more you know. I hope he does graphics because otherwise I'm just going to look like an idiot.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to hit you with the more you know.
I feel like it went the wrong way though. I think it's going to go this way. So.
Well, give me one for the end of it, and if I can't get it super on here, it'll go before our credits. So give me one more.
Okay.
And that'll be the cut. There it is.